answer is actually very simple. So I had worked with Alchemative before during my time at Sapphire. So I was very, very aware of, what Alchemative has to offer. And I'll get into detail on that. So, but essentially, so हमारे लिए the question actually was never whether to choose Alchemative or not. हमारे लिए question was, so when we started, we were essentially जब start किया था तब we were using Magento. So हमारे लिए जो question था जिसका answer we were trying to find was, should we stick to Magento or should we switch to Shopify? And we asked a lot of people whether we should do it or not. And everyone came in with their area of expertise. So if they were a Magento sort of expert agency or a Magento expert partner, they would come in and pitch Magento. If they were a Shopify expert agency or partner, they would come in with Shopify. अगर कोई और platform का expert था, वो pitch करते थे. So the first thing that put Alchemative aside is that they did not come in as a Shopify expert or a Magento expert. They came in as e-commerce experts. So when we said which one should we choose, we did not get an answer. Instead of that, we got a question in return. And that question was, what is your business model? What do you plan to do now, in a year, in 3 years, in 5 years? We are not going to pitch ourselves to you, or we're not going to pitch a platform to you. We are going to give you a solution, and then you can decide which partner you want to go with. So बाकी partners ने हमें pitch दी, Alchemative ने हमें solution दिया. That was the first thing that put Alchemative aside. And then obviously, once you decide to go on Shopify Plus, considering that there is one Shopify Plus partner in the country, from my knowledge, I don't know if anyone else has been awarded that yet, but from my knowledge, Alchemative is the only Plus partner in the country, or at least in Lahore. It's common sense, because Umar ne jis tarah bataya, there was a lot of customizations that we needed to do. Or traditionally, हमें सबने बताया हुआ था कि you have to live within the Shopify spectrum. आप customizations नहीं कर सकते. Checkout पे तो आप छेड़ ही नहीं सकते. Checkout पे तो Shopify allow नहीं करता छेड़ने को. और हमारी सबसे बड़ी customization checkout पे थी. Alchemative was the only one who provided us with a solution. Other people did, but they weren't solutions. They were workarounds. Alchemative provided us with a solution. So from day one, the relationship was very clear that this is not essentially an agency brand relationship. This is a partnership where we grow because of Alchemative and Alchemative grows because of us. Uske baad, so that's the premise of it. Uske baad, to put it very simply, I think the tech expertise that they have, and it's not just related to Shopify, of e-commerce in general and the local e-commerce industry. How to work Shopify for the local industry, whether that's payment gateways, whether that's logistics solutions, whether that's your front end. So, वो जो expertise है that, the tech expertise, वो has helped us a lot, because हमारे लिए this happens on a daily basis, and we do put a lot of pressure on them, like Umar was saying. And that's where I think the second part about Alchemative comes in, that once pressure is put on them, there is always a return. The support that we get from them, both in terms of daily operations and developments, is very, very top notch. And that is essentially what puts them aside. I'm not saying other service providers don't do it, but in terms of our experience, it's been a very successful relationship so far.
Whenever a customer contacts us, we first of all classify them into a category. So we have sort of 3 internal categories, or not written categories, but something in our head, that there are 3 different types of customers that typically approach us. The first customer is normally who do not have an idea of how e-commerce works, but they have some kind of small retail presence. And because of the COVID, and even before COVID, we just heard that e-commerce is the future, so they want to explore that option. This is one of those customers where we straight away go into what you can say advisory and mentorship mode, because we know that they do not know e-commerce, and we first of all establish this with them, that you are new to this, so you need to listen to us, you need to work with us, so we can take you step by step. Normally these are the customers for which we actually have to go a bit of extra mile in terms of extending our support, because they typically do not have even the most basic processes or teams established for an e-commerce to work. Then the second category of customers are typically who are established retail or e-commerce merchants, established websites, and they come to us with either they want to migrate the platform, or they have some problem statement with the existing platform or the technology framework or whatever. And we evaluate their situation, understand the scope, put up a proposal, and then the project starts and finishes. This is typically the most smooth project because the customer is evolved, they understand their model, and they're standard. They're not, they do not have, like Jomo, they do not have out of box requirements. They have standard requirements. Then the third type of entity is typically who have unique set of requirements, a different business model, especially a business model which has not been tested in Pakistan or being developed in Pakistan. This is where Jomo comes in. This is typically the most difficult type of customer we get, because in this case, we actually have to come into that partnership mode, which Umar actually suggested. Because unless we really understand their business model and we really understand the long-term expectations from the technology company and the technology platform in general, we cannot pitch a solution to them. So these are typical three types of customers we interact with, we handle. So normal process is they come on board, we complete the project, and once the project is completed, the project is put into operations. And from customer to customer, it varies what kind of operation services they get from us or somebody else, it doesn't matter. But that's how the process goes. If I put it in one word, is evolution. Because when the right kind of synergetic partnerships are established, everything levels up. Because we have to level up, and in return, even because if we are able to cater to the requirements of our partner, the partner will definitely think about new ways of doing things, and they will come up with more requirements. And this iterative process actually levels of everything up, and the whole new business model actually establishes. In turn, what happens is our capacity and capability increases. So as an agency, working with brands like Jomo, our capacity and capability enhances, which is a benefit to the market itself. Because, for example, now if a customer comes to us and asks us to implement scheduled delivery, we do not have to think about it and do not have to do any further R&D. We can implement straight away, and other business models as well. So this, in turn, I believe, helps the whole ecosystem evolve. So it is very important for an agency to have customers like Jomo, who are thinking out of the box, who are trying to evolve the model beyond the standard e-commerce, in a way, who are actually pushing the boundaries of technology and what is possible, what is not possible. That helps the whole ecosystem.
We look at Alchemative as our consultants, and I'm not going to term them as e-commerce consultants or tech consultants. We consider them business consultants, because I think mutually there's an understanding of where we want to be, what we want to do, and how Alchemative can help us get there. So that's the relationship. In terms of exact services that we're getting from them, so there are partners for all things Shopify, whether that's front end, whether that's back end operations, whether that's Shopify tech, integrations. So within Shopify and outside Shopify, जितनी भी हमारी tech है, जो infrastructure है, जितनी भी integrations हैं, like Umar mentioned, we're bringing basically a new brand on board every week. What that means is integration from A to Z with that brand, उनका master data, उनके images, उनकी inventory, वो वाली integration. So that is what Alchematives helps us with in terms of smoothing that process and making sure that it happens in a very robust manner. So that's the support, that's the tech support part of what Alchemative offers us. What they also do for us is operational support. So we're obviously always looking ahead, but you have to sustain yourself, existing operations, day-to-day, daily operations. They help us there too in terms of product management, data management, inventory management. So जो हमारे daily operations हैं, making sure that all the on-site experience is running smoothly. That's the second thing that we do for them. And then the third thing that we do is any out-of-the-box project, because we do like to think outside the box and we try and come up with something new every week. So वो जैसी कोई नई चीज आती है, I will call up Umar or someone from Alchemative straight away and say कि ये idea है, you please करना. And so far we haven't heard a no. And so far everything that we wanted to do has been done. So जितने भी everything that's beyond day-to-day operations and integrations and tech, we also rely on Alchemative for that. One of the projects that we have just very, very recently closed is our new theme, Jomo's new theme and new website. That is all good to go, and we will launch it right after Eid. And we're very, very happy with what we've achieved there. both in terms of the design, the structure, navigation, layout, uski optimization, mobile friendliness. So the new theme and website, quite like Jomo's philosophy, is a bit revolutionary. So we're very happy with it. So all things from those angles, that's the services that we take from Alchemative.
So in general, we all are aware that e-commerce is growing at a rapid pace, rather at a very consistent pace. Obviously, 2020 was a different scenario. It had a exceptional growth in 2020 because of COVID and all. But in general, from the last 5-6 years, it's a very consistently upward rising trend towards e-commerce. And as of now, I think you've touched $4 trillion US in terms of global B2C e-commerce numbers. And I was just reading a report on from an e-marketer, a company making reports on retail in journal. As per their prediction, this year, the e-commerce will actually switch, the revenue numbers will switch between e-commerce and retail. So e-commerce will have a growth trajectory, whereas retail will have a downward. The e-commerce will actually surpass retail business in this year. These are a few numbers. Other than that, 53% growth was has been seen in the last 1 or 2 years, especially during COVID, for groceries and food deliveries and items, which non-fashion items. And out of this 53%, 47% is there to stay. It's not going back. So there's a mindset which I would actually like to address later on after this stats question. There's a mindset in the market which is waiting for the time that e-commerce will go down, retail will come back. That's not going to happen anyway. E-commerce is the future, and stats are clearly showing there's only one way forward, and that is e-commerce. Omar, if you would like to add something.
Yeah, so I think you nailed it there. That's basically what it is. I think general trend is all upwards. There is no कोई chance नहीं है e-commerce का to decline. Internet penetration is increasing. Smartphone usage is increasing. I was reading the other day, I think Pakistan is in the top 10 customer buyers of smartphones in the last year. So उससे क्या हो रहा है? Obviously smartphones लोग क्यों खरीदने हैं? Because internet penetration है, understanding है कि smartphone और internet linked हैं, और जब वो use करेंगे तो obviously e-commerce की growth आएगी. Umar mentioned that there's a 53% growth in the last 2 years. Another stat that I was reading was March 2020, when COVID really hit Pakistan. तब से लेके March 2021, which is 1 year, 26% जो total e-commerce audience थी, उसमें से 26% were people who had never purchased online for the first time. So ये 26% की audience थी जिसने इससे पहले e-commerce पे shopping की ही नहीं थी, which is massive in 1 year. So what that tells us is कि more, besides the fact that internet, infrastructure, smartphones, everything else is on the rise, what is also on the rise are more and more customers and newer customers, audiences and segments that were never traditionally thought of as an e-commerce buyer are now an e-commerce buyer. What that does for a marketer or for a brand is it opens up a lot of new opportunities, because वो लोग जिनको आप पहले billboards के through, TV ads के through, magazines, newspapers के through reach out करने की कोशिश करते थे, now they too are a click away. So it's a bit like going back to 2011, 12, 13, जब वहाँ पे we started reaching out to the millennials. Don't know what to call this segment because they're definitely not millennials. But ये भी वो लोग हैं basically. Now it's the same trend. So वो increase obviously it's on the up, and like Umar said, there is no scenario that I foresee or anyone foresees where this is going to go down. So e-commerce is going to not just overtake, it is going to overtake retail, but then it's going to leave retail behind with a massive gap in the next couple of years. I think so Umar had mentioned previously the psyche of notion of retail वापस ऊपर आ जाएगा. I think I'd like him, that answers this question perfectly. So I'd like him to explain that, because I think that's essentially the answer to this question.
So when you're talking about new fashion brands coming on board, there are two types of customers, or two types of customer I would divide this answer for. So first one is people who are actually new to e-commerce and they want to experiment, or they are positive about e-commerce and they're just starting out. for them the most important thing is about the product. They need to be very sure about the product. कोविड के अंदर एक ट्रेंड देखने में आया कि एवरीबॉडी नाउ वांट्स टू बी एन ई कॉमर्स मर्चेंट. उसके पास प्रोडक्ट है या नहीं है, वो कभी किसी से सोर्स कर ले, वो किसी से खरीद ले, बस वो ई कॉमर्स पे आ जाए. दैट्स नॉट वर्किंग आउट बिकॉज हमारे पास बहुत सारे स्टोर्स हैं जो कि इस साल के अंदर खुल के बंद भी हो चुके हैं, इवन दो ई कॉमर्स इज ऑन द राइज. The very reason is people are not focusing on the product and then customer services and then the whole supply chain and logistics. It's not about just opening up a store and running it. It will not work like that. So this is important thing for people who are just starting out. They need to really focus on their USPs, just like Jomu, because Jomu के आने से पहले it was thought in Pakistan कि अब दराज बहुत बड़ा हो गया, अब किसी और को आने की जरूरत नहीं है. But Jomu proved it otherwise. तो इसका मतलब है कि there is always a room for with a new idea, with a USP which is unique to you. और ये शायद आज के बहुत सारे नए ब्रांड नहीं कर रहे. Then coming to the relatively more established players, this is where I would like to, because this is where we feel the most what you can say resistance. Three things which we routinely face is the herd mentality. Even brands which are pretty established as companies and brands, they are still waiting for some bigger player to do something before they start experimenting with it. Herd mentality will never give you anything. You will always be the second or third or maybe the last person in the race. If you want to be the number one, you have to come out of this herd mentality. This is a message for especially larger brands, because most of them are actually waiting for somebody else to experiment and then see what happens. And then medium to large nostalgia. There are brands in Pakistan, there are CEOs in Pakistan, brand owners in Pakistan who are essentially waiting for COVID to end, shops to open, and things can go back to the way they were. This is never going to happen. You have to move forward. There's no way going back. Coming back to players like Jomu and companies who are actually putting in effort, I believe there is a lot of emphasis right now on the output in terms of marketing. Everybody is looking at CTRs and conversion ratios and all these things. I believe there should be more focus on inputs to an e-commerce platform. So inputs like customer experience, input like delivery timelines, the things which Jomu have focused on. Inputs are much more important than the outputs, because if you improve the inputs, outputs automatically improve. So this is all I have to say about e-commerce in general, or fashion in general. I do not have those numbers for Pakistan readily available in front of me, but it's very easy to find those numbers. You can simply do a quick Google search and see all those numbers. And most of those numbers are also available on State Bank's website, because State Bank is now taking interest in digital payments and e-commerce, and they are publishing growth patterns and conversions regarding e-commerce. Last time I heard, I think it have already crossed 2 billion rupees, but I'm not sure about it. You can easily research it on Google. So with respect to what is next 5 years for e-commerce, as I was saying, that brands need to experiment more. This essentially means that we need to be open with respect to evolution of e-commerce from the technology standpoint. Globally, we can clearly see that there is an increasing use of augmented reality in e-commerce. Why augmented reality? Because e-commerce is all about customer experience. Because if you do not have a shop, you are not going to a retail shop. You have to give customers an option to explore the product in as many possible ways as possible. So augmented reality is one of those technologies which actually enables the customer to experience the product in a three-dimensional form, or maybe even interact with it. Apple had implemented it. A lot of international brands have already implemented it. Augmented reality actually can be implemented not just for products like electronics and all. It can be implemented for shoe. So it can be implemented for apparel, fashion, everything else. We had been experimenting with it on shoe as well, and as well with apparel, that we can augment a dress. For example, if you're able to see, if you're able to experience with your mobile application, how would you look in a particular dress or with a particular shoe, that would actually ease your buying decision. So this is one area. Social commerce is something which is on the rise. and I believe social commerce is something which we should take seriously. All the major e-commerce players. Mobile application, traditionally in Pakistan, mobile applications are just another interface of shopping experience for a customer, just like website. Whereas we need to see mobile applications as a third channel rather than an extension of the web. It should be targeting location-based marketing. It should have beacon-based product information. It should have content personalization option. Content personalization is one of the most important aspects for e-commerce going forward, because consumers now are always looking for, or they're more comfortable with a brand who personalizes its recommendations. That means we are talking about implementation of AI and machine learning technologies for buying recommendations for the customer. So this is something we see for next 3 years, 5 years, 4 years. But the technology use will keep on increasing, especially these technologies. Over, would you like to say anything on this?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think what you basically said, that's essentially true. I think some of the figures that were given out were actually Pakistan based, so the 26% growth that is for Pakistan specifically. And in terms of e-commerce and specifically fashion e-commerce, I think एक चीज जो more and more that we are realizing now is that जो core customer है, and this goes out for anyone either wanting to get into fashion or is already in fashion. So अभी तक generally थोड़ा mindset रहा है कि because the customer is not so tech savvy, they don't understand e-commerce as much. That's not true anymore. So the customer now is pretty tech savvy. Second, even if they aren't, what you need to understand within fashion is कि वो उतने tech savvy नहीं है, but they are very, very product savvy. So if you, for example, if you are a big brand and if you put up a product which is actually a year old and announce it as a new arrival, if you actually think people are not going to know, they will know. So customer psyche has essentially changed in the last 2 years, both in retail and in e-commerce. वो जो psyche when applied to e-commerce presents a bit of a challenge because physical interaction नहीं है customer के साथ, and then the bigger problem then becomes is that in a lot of cases, what you see on the website isn't really what you get delivered to you. There's a big difference, and then that's where, like Umar was saying, that's where an investment in technology needs to come in. So machine learning, AI, yes, augmented reality, yes, but हम तो अभी augmented reality तो हमारे लिए बहुत दूर है. जो उससे पहले वाला part है, which is कि जो आपकी product photography है, उस पे भी I don't think there is enough focus. There isn't enough focus on doing high quality product photography so that customers जब वो order place करें अपना and they actually get the order, उसमें फिर what you see is actually what you get. वो थोड़े से challenges हैं purely from a customer angle, especially within fashion. But other than that, yeah. My suggestion would be very simple: take the leap of faith. I think if you are, अगर आप एक spiritual इंसान है, then you will need to take that leap of faith. अगर आप spiritual इंसान नहीं है और आप थोड़े data driven इंसान है, then just look at the data. Then it just makes it so easy for you to take that leap of faith. Look at the numbers, look at the trends for the last year, last 2 years, and then फिर मेरी suggestion की ज़रूरत नहीं और किसी भी suggestion की ज़रूरत नहीं है. It's there in front of you. Do it. The growth in e-commerce is there is still a lot to do. The advantage that you have is that you also have a lot of opportunities within it that still exist. अभी भी gaps हैं. So there is still a lot of things that someone can come and do for the first time in e-commerce that has not been done before. That is the biggest advantage. So my biggest suggestion would be take the risk. It's worth it.
I would say find a business model, identify your USP before you start. Don't blindly copy somebody else's model and think it will work. It have worked for them, it will work for you. It's not always the case. So always try to develop your own USP for your product.